Hello, my name is Matt Nolf. I'm with PNG Technologies out of Michigan. We're a supplier of propane and natural gas kits for generators. Today we're going to be showing you the Firman. This is the dual fuel series generator. On gasoline, this has the running watts of 7,500, starting watt of 9,400, and then on their propane setup, the running watt is 6,750 with the starting of 8,450. Now we're going to show you the natural gas kit in this, and then we'll also show you how you can use propane with our system too. The reason for being is they have a regulator on here that if it ever goes bad on the propane side, you can't get them. We've tried to search to find them. They're not available, and the other regulators that are available to replace it are not the same pressure, so they don't operate the same. So basically, if the propane side ever failed on you with our natural gas kit, if you hook up our high pressure propane regulator with that, then you can still also run the propane. So we'll go ahead and show you the steps on that, and we'll get started. Okay, now the first step, what we're going to do is get rid of the back things that we do not need on the air cleaner. So we'll go ahead and pull our hose out of here for our breather. Just go ahead and pull that off, set that to the side. Now back here, it's kind of hard to see. There's a vibration bracket nut back here. Actually, it's a nut. And you want to go ahead and remove that there. It's a tight fit there, that's for sure. Just get her loose, and then you can go ahead and spin her out. Okay, that's that step there. We'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and remove our cover here. Snap off the two clips. Pull that to the side. You don't have to pull your air filter out. You're going to remove the 6 outer nuts here. And then we'll go ahead and get those off. And we can get them all loosened up. Just go ahead and spin them off. Alrighty. Couple more here. This will give us access to our gasoline carburetor. We'll have one more back plate to remove after this. Last one here. Okay, we'll go ahead and pull this off. That's your inside. Now we're going to go ahead and remove our back plate, and that will give us access to the gasoline carburetor. So let's go ahead and pull those off. And our last one here, and we can expose our carburetor. Okay, now we'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove this gasoline carburetor. Normally I can back the studs out when we do put our adapter on, but there's not enough meat here to be able to do that. So go ahead and take your gasket off. Be careful, don't tear it. And then we're going to go ahead and pull your linkage open, okay? And just go ahead and take your spring off there. I'm trying to keep my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Go ahead and pull the spring off, okay? And then this will just pop up, this bracket here. That's it. And you can just slide the gasoline carburetor right off and just lay it to the side. We'll show you the next steps. Okay, the reason we remove the gasoline carburetor is when we install our slim adapter on here, obviously it pulls it away. There's just barely enough meat on there to get your nuts back on when you put this on. So what you're going to do is go ahead and get you some vice grips and just lock down on them. Okay, they pop out pretty easy. Just lock down on them good and just pop them. And then you're going to want to pull them out a good 3 or 4 turns on each one. And then also back with this one here. Go ahead and pull them out. And then I've already kind of got them out where I need them now. So what we're going to do is go ahead and install our gasoline carburetor back on here. Okay. Slide that back on. Go ahead and get our return spring back on here. And then we'll pop the leakage in. Alright, there we go. Okay, oops. Go ahead and get that back on there. Okay, we got that on. Now we're going to go ahead and pop our bracket back on here, our linkage. It just snaps back in. All right, that's set. We'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Okay, now what we're going to do that we've got clearance for our adapter now, we'll go ahead and install the existing gasket that was on the machine. Slide our adapter on. We'll supply you with the gasket. And before you can put the back cover on, obviously this pulls your air cleaner away, so your vibration bracket's going to be a little bit away from it. So what we'll do is we'll supply you a stud extension. Just go ahead and screw that on there. And then we'll give you a little washer here. Just slide that on. Okay, and then that way, just set that back in there first, line up your bolts, and then we'll show you the next step there. Okay, now you can see that there are plenty of meat to go ahead and get your existing nuts back on. We'll go ahead and do that. And we'll get them tightened down. It didn't quite start right on me. There we go. All right, we'll get those tight. And then we'll go ahead and install our center air cleaner cover back on. And we'll get those nuts started there. And you got the 6 outer. Couple more here. Alrighty, last one, and then we'll go ahead and tighten them down. I just kind of crisscross it, just out of habit. And what's nice about that adapter, instead of the old style where you got to cut the frame, look at there, just pops right on, easy maintenance now. Got no problems with it. Flip the bottom on, that's that step there. We'll show you the next one. And now we'll go ahead and attach what we pulled off the back. So go ahead and slip your hose on there. Go ahead and tuck that back in your box there. All right, and this one I didn't show you pulling out earlier, but that one there goes back in there too when you do that. And also the vibration bracket back in here, okay? So now we've got that set up where you don't have to modify anything there. And we'll go ahead and tighten that down. And that will complete the steps for installing the slim adapter there. Very little room here, so just be patient with it. We'll eventually lock it down. All right, there we go. We'll show you the next steps. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and install our regulator assembly. Now this will all be preset for you, so you won't have to fasten anything or put any compound on it. Basically, you'll just have to get your feed for your natural gas for here. But what we're going to do to mount this is we're going to mount it on the top of the bar right here, okay? Obviously, the exhaust is coming out the back here, so we're going to mount it in this area here so you can still get access to your plug. So basically, we're going to go in the center of this bar. So if you split that bar, it's 1.5 inches. So you're going to be going around 3/4 of an inch. So from the inside of the edge of the frame here, we're going to come over and mark 4 inches. Okay, and then from the 4 inches over, we're going to mark it 5 3/4 of an inch. And that will give us our center to center for mounting the regulator. So we'll just kind of line that up, make sure that that is there. All right, move that over a little bit. Double check it again here. All right, that looks pretty good right there. Now go ahead and take a punch here and just get our hole so we don't wobble our drill bit so much. And then we'll go ahead and drill them out and we'll show you that step. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and drill out our holes. Now obviously the gas tank is right back here, so if you accidentally puncture through, you're going to hit the gas tank. So what I do is just get you a bar back here, and if you hit that, you're okay. Go ahead and get this started. Good to have that bar there just to protect you. Okay, we got one more hole here to drill. All right, we'll go ahead and clean those holes up. And we'll go ahead and get our regulator mounted. We'll show you that step. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and install our regulator assembly. This will come with all the hardware also. So just go ahead and line that up there and kind of hold it up. And you're going to get your flat washer on back there. Your lock washer. And then we'll try to get a nut started back here. It's tight. Okay, got that. Same over here, flat washer, lock washer, and the nut on there. We'll go ahead and fasten them down. Alright, that's that step there. We'll show you the next step. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and install our hose from our slim adapter to the outlet of the regulator. And what we're going to do is go ahead and slide this up on there. Okay, now obviously if I just brought this up and did it, it would rub the tire here. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this bolt right here. Okay, let's get that off there. And we're going to install a clamp with another bolt to this to hold the hose back from moving. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that started. And that'll keep that away and nice, and it secures this hose real good. Alrighty. Nice and snug right there. Now we'll go ahead and get our clamp over to our hose here. Get that tightened down. Now, you know, I was going to run it this way over here to this side without doing this, but you're so close to the exhaust here. Even though this is a heat shield, you kind of want to stay, you don't want your hose by it. So what we're going to do is just coil it back up around here. Slide it on there, bring our clamp around, and we'll twist this hose to get it to stay away from that. Okay, see how I twisted that in? It makes it cosmetically look better too, and it keeps it from sticking out so far. So let's go ahead and lock that down. And that is actually the conversion. Next step, we'll go ahead and get this thing set up on its alternative fuel, and we'll show you how it runs. Okay, now there's one more step that we have to do on this. Most of these always have a gasoline cockpit shutoff valve. This one does not. So before you even attempt this step here, make sure you have no gasoline in this tank. Drain it out. Hopefully you've never used the gasoline and you've been using the alternative fuel side. But what we're going to do is go ahead, and the line coming off the tank here, we're going to go back about maybe 3 or 4 inches. Just cut that line. Okay. And we'll slide over our clamp. Get that on there. And we're going to do the same with the back one here. Get that hose, get a clamp on that. All right, now we'll go ahead and install our shutoff valve. Get that on there nice and good. Pull the clamp up there. Alrighty, and we'll go ahead and do the same on this side. Slide this one on. And they're barbed hose fittings. You really don't have to have clamps on here, but as cheap as these things are and as good as they work, why not have them on there? Alrighty, there we go. Now we've installed that. Now we can go ahead and get this thing fired on alternative fuel. Now what you're going to do is basically just have this off when you're running your natural gas. And when you're running your gasoline, obviously, shut your alternative fuel off and go ahead and turn this on here, and then you've got control of that. So that's that step there. Okay, what we're going to do is show you what you need to do to be able to run your natural gas kit that you purchased from us, or the propane kit that if you wanted to purchase that from us too, if this regulator ever failed on you. What you have to do is there's a selector switch on here. Okay, you've got LP to run your existing system, which you can still do, that's fine. If you want to run our system, the natural gas or the propane, you have to have this switched over to the gasoline side. The reason for that is because if you have it over to the LP side, it opens up the regulator which allows a vacuum leak that you'll create on the carburetor, so it won't allow you to run the fuel that you're attaching with our system. So when you're running our natural gas or our propane, have it over to the gasoline side. And we did install a shutoff gasoline valve on this unit, as you've seen in the video. Make sure that that is off, and then all your fuel is ran out. And then we'll go ahead and get this thing set up to run for you. Okay, now what we're going to do, we've got this set up here. These quick connects do not come with the kit. We sell them separate because we don't know how long a hose you got, so we offer several different sizes in that. But we're going to hook this up with the quick connect for the natural gas. Okay, go ahead and turn our natural gas on. And then we'll go ahead and turn our shutoff valve on here. Now, if you have a long hose, you might have to purge this to get the air out of it. Depends on how long, what the length is. So make sure again you have this turned on gasoline. Okay, your gasoline shutoff valve is off. Okay, you go ahead, turn everything on. Behind here, there's a primer, manual primer button. Hit that a few seconds, just to get a little burst of fuel in there. And we'll go ahead and try to crank her here. Alright, that's the natural gas steps there. Now if you want to hook up propane to this, using our system, all you would do, obviously remove your natural gas connection. You would remove this section here. We would supply you this here, and then you would have this connection, and then this go into your propane tank. So that's that step on the propane side. All right, that shows you the installation instructions for the Firman Duel Fuel Series generator. Again, we switched this to natural gas, and then we showed you the LP side of it. These are custom kits that are designed for this unit. It's not a throw in the box, something you've got to adjust. Everything will be pre-assembled for you. You just have to obviously mount it. So again, like on the propane side, we offer that kit. You can get that. If you're interested in purchasing this kit from us, you can go to pngtechnologies.com, or we could be reached at 734-992-2648. I hope this video helps you out. Appreciate you watching it, and have a wonderful day.